Okay, so in this video we're gonna go ahead and then configure our desktops and then make them look something like this. I am currently running Fedora Linux, but I'm gonna show how you could do it in Arch Linux because it's popular for Arch Linux and stuff like that, you know, window managers. Now if you're installing this in your main PC, you probably want to go ahead and then install something like Etcher.
Blah 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 blah.
Okay, so once you have booted into your ISO file, you can just get started with simple pacman syy. So if you want to go ahead and then do wireless internet, you have to go ahead and then say something like iwctl and then configure it using that. I'm gonna go ahead and then paste down the commands on the screen. You can just say arch install. I'm gonna be honest, this is the first time I am installing Arch Linux with this installation script. I have installed Arch Linux before without this. There was another one which was coming in before, but this is a new installation script, so I don't know what I'm going into. So select the keyboard. In my case US is the default. Select the mirror region. In my case I live in India, so I'm just gonna say India, and then you can also go with some other ones if you want. But in my case I'm just done with it. Then coming to the hard drives, in my virtual machine I just have one hard drive which I have to focus on. I'm gonna select that and then say I don't want us and then say next. Now when it comes to the encryption,
that you
I don't need an encryption password. And then for the bootloader, I'm okay with grub, and for swap I'm just gonna say yes, I need a swap, because most of you guys who are watching this, you guys are probably installing this on an actual hard drive, so you probably need a swap. When it comes to the host name, Arch Linux is fine for me. Root password, I'm gonna set a root password. Yes, I need it to be the default. One more time. And then the user account, I'm just gonna say my name. Now specify profile, I'm just gonna say this is basically what you want as the desktop environment or window manager. We are installing a window manager, so we don't need any of these. I'm just gonna go ahead and then say xorg. Now once I have xorg selected, I need the graphic drivers for my operating system, but I am using a VirtualBox for this, so I'm just gonna say the VMware/VirtualBox. You probably have to choose something like Intel, AMD or Nvidia. Select audio. In my case I'm gonna go with Pipewire. Select kernels, I'm just gonna go with the default. Additional packages to install. In my case of course I need git, I need wget, Firefox, why not, I need nitrogen, dmenu, vim, tunar, xfce4 terminal. I'm gonna say pcom after that. So I think I have covered all the packages, but maybe I have forgotten a thing or two. I'm gonna go ahead and then install those packages later on, but for now I'm just gonna hit enter. We can now go ahead and then jump on to configuring the network. In my case I'm gonna go ahead and then use the network manager and then go ahead set the time zone. In my case I'm just gonna go ahead and then select Asia/Kolkata. Although Kolkata is not the place where I live, Kolkata is the standard place where India considers its standard time to be, so automatic time, why not. And then additional repositories, I don't have any additional repositories, so I'm just gonna say install now, because now that we have done everything we can just say install. Okay, so I almost forgot this, but we also have to go ahead and then configure the disk layout. So for that I'm just gonna say wipe all selected drives and then use the best effort default partition layout. So once I have done with that, I can go ahead and then choose whatever file formats I want. I could go with Btrfs, but I'm pretty sure most of you guys probably use ext4 as the default, so I'm just gonna go with ext4. And finally I'm just gonna say install, enter. So yeah, that's gonna take one eternity. Okay, so this is the perfect time to talk about today's sponsor. And no, it's not a VPN, don't worry about it. It's the subscribe button, which is literally below this video, and all you have to do is just click on it. Okay, on with the video.
One eternity later.
It's finally done. The process of installation of Arch Linux is finally here. I'm just gonna say yes, although I don't know what to do right now. It's just gonna go ahead and then chroot me into the actual Arch Linux system, which I probably don't need.
Oh my god! Wow!
So I'm just gonna say exit and reboot. Okay, so now that I am in the login screen, I'm just gonna go ahead and then log in as root. So the first thing I have to do is go ahead and then add the user which I have, and then make it a sudoer, letting the user to use the sudo command. And for that, I'm just gonna go ahead and then say y sudo and then just hit enter, and that should work. Okay, so I don't have editor vim y sudo, and that of course works because of course I have installed vim. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and then uncheck this comment right here. So press I and then say delete twice in this line, and then say escape, semicolon W and then Q, that is gonna write and quit. So now that if you go ahead and then exit and then log into your actual user, now that we have sudo privileges, we can just say sudo pacman syu and bspwm and then sxh.
Wait, you could do so.
That's gonna go ahead and then install both of these. So basically bspwm is a window manager, most of you guys know this, and sxhkd is the program which enables you to have shortcuts. I have installed almost everything before while installing Arch Linux. I know some of you guys have just skipped that part. So once you have all of that done, you can just say cp/etc x11/xinitrc. Okay, so once you have that done, you can just go ahead and then say cp/etc/x11/xinit/xinitrc, and then you want that to be copied as xinitrc into your home folder. So once you have that copied, you can just go ahead and then say vim xinitrc, and then you have this script right here, and you don't want some of this parts, just go ahead and then say exec bspwm. You need pcom to be running while you have the window manager running, so I'm just gonna say pcom. And then I also want nitrogen restore the wallpaper, and yeah, I guess that's about it. You can just go ahead and then say write and quit. Okay, so once you have that done, you can just go ahead and then copy the main bspwm and ssx, the other one mkdir -p.config/bspwm. So first of all, you probably want to go ahead and then create a config file separately for your home folder, say mkdir -p.config/bspwm, and that's going to create a folder inside the config folder. You do the same thing again, and then this time you just say sxhkd, and then yeah, you create a folder called sxhkd as well. You can go ahead and then copy the example file from the root folder and then copy paste it into the home folder. For that, you just say cp/user/share/doc/bspwm and bspwmrc, and then you just paste it into config bspwm, and then you go into examples cp/user/share/doc and then /bspwm/examples and /bspwmrc, and you paste it into config/bspwm folder which you just created now. You do the same thing for sxhkd as well. I need to go ahead and then install Rofi for this. I'm gonna go ahead and then configure the sxhkd file vim config/ sxhkd. I'm gonna go ahead, open up xsh, whatever that file name is. I'm gonna change the terminal to xfce4 terminal, and then I'm gonna change the program launcher to rofi space -show space run. That is the command to actually run rofi. Now once you have all of that done, I think you can go ahead and then just get started with the file. You can just start x, and this is bspwm. It is basically a blank screen right now. Now if I just hit on to mod enter, you guys can just see that this is the basic terminal app, and this is the xfce4 terminal app running inside my virtual machine. Say mod space, I'm just gonna open up Firefox, best wallpapers. You know what, this wallpaper looks good, I'm just gonna go with that. Open nitrogen, go to preferences, add this folder right here, and then I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, and as you guys can see, okay, so now that that is out of the way, we can get started with polybar, the blur effects, and all of those stuff as well. So first off, the appearance of the terminal looks not good. I'm just gonna say vim config /bspwm/bspwmrc, and here I'm just gonna go ahead and then add pcom, and once that is done, I can also go ahead and then just say xinitrc and then just delete pcom from here. So yeah, that's basically it. Now you might be wondering why pcom is not working for me. I am using a virtual machine, and inside a virtual machine I have the vsync method disabled by default, and for that I'm just gonna go ahead and then first off create a pcom file, and for that I'm just gonna copy the example pcom file which is located in etc xdg if I'm not wrong, pcom.conf, and then I'm gonna copy that into config and then as pcom.conf. Okay, so now that I have copied the pcom.conf example file, I'm just gonna go ahead and then open that file up, and then right here somewhere, I don't know where, we have the vsync option. Comment the vsync is equal to true, and then uncomment vsync is equal to false. This is gonna go ahead and then actually uncomment vsync. This is gonna go ahead and then actually disable vsync. So now if you just reload, change the opacity, remove this top bar, it really does not help to the already bad looking window manager we have right now. Enable overlay scrolling. You can get started with opening up Firefox, not Brave, I almost forgot, I'm in a virtual machine. So go ahead and then open up Firefox and then install, and then get started with installing polybar install. That should show you the official GitHub repository of polybar, and you just have to install that. If you are using Arch Linux, you just say sudo pacman syu polybar, and if you're like me and you use something like Fedora, go ahead and then say sudo dnf install polybar. I'm pretty sure it is something similar to Debian based distributions as well. If you're using OpenSUSE, it is zipper install polybar. A Debian based distribution, it's sudo apt install polybar. So for that, I'm just gonna say polybar themes, and this leads you to this GitHub repository. Shout out to Adi, I'm pretty sure it's Adi1090X. Shout out to that guy. Really copy paste, and that is gonna go ahead and then copy paste the polybar repository. You can go ahead and then go into that repository and then just give some sudo privileges to the setup.sh, and once you have done that, you can just say ./setup.sh, and that is gonna give you this terminal based dialog box, and it's just asking you, do you need a simple polybar or a bitmap polybar. So I'm just gonna go with 1, and this command right here is just gonna open up polybar for you, and then you just say hyphen and then the theme which you want, sudo pacman syumpd, and that should be able to go ahead and then install mpd. That's it. I'm gonna meet you after this gets installed. Okay, so once you have mpd installed, you can just go ahead and then say vim.config slash bspwm slash bspwmrc. That is gonna again open up bspwm config file, and here just go ahead and then say the command which we just did, and then you can literally choose around any theme you wish. I mean, you can also have a look and then choose what theme you want. In my case, I'm just gonna go with something like shapes or blocks, or really it doesn't matter, all of them are really good looking. So once you have that done, you can just go ahead, exit, quit everything, and then just say mod alt r. That is gonna go ahead and then restart the bspw window manager, and there you go. This is the desktop which everybody wants. Very recently pcom released its new release where pcom now supports blur effects in the experimental backends. So for that, I'm just gonna go ahead and then say vim.config slash pcom.conf, and then here I'm gonna go ahead and then say blur and then semicolon, and then I'm gonna go ahead and then specify all the stuff I want in curly brackets. Now the second thing you want to do is go ahead and then search for the glx, which is the backend. Of course, you need to go ahead and then disable the xrender backend in pcom, which is the default render backend, and you want to go ahead and then enable glx as the default render backend, because basically glx has all the features you want. Now once you have enabled glx, you can just go ahead, right and quit, and then go to config bspwmrc, and then here you can just add in experimental backends, and that should be working. I guess that should work, and yes, it does. As you guys can see, pcom works pretty well. So yeah, that's really about it in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about it, and yeah, I'll meet you in the next video. Goodbye.